Y boom, boom, grabando, FENcast grabando. Otro episodio formato video chat. Hoy con un artista que por lo que yo veo le mete a la música. I don't know if he also does the artwork behind his work. Warren J. Santiago de Sin Tribu. ¿Cómo estamos, mano?
Todo bien, mano, todo bien. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying yes sin ningún problema. ¿Cómo te fue el día? First off.
Mano, super chilling. 420, totally forgot that was a thing. Pero happy que como que, like, I'm here with you on that one day, man. Creo que normalmente I'm like by myself on this holiday. Whatever, it's just pretty.
On this unofficial holiday. Yeah. So, dude, first off, para que la gente sepa, I just gave a brief introduction de quién tú eres. Pero for those who don't know, who are you? ¿Por qué la música?
For those who don't know, mi nombre es Warren. Lo más que yo hago y sé hacer, entre comillas, música, creo que desde mi infancia, como muchísima gente, that's always been a language or a feeling that I've always had. So I think it's where I can express myself most organically or naturally, como que have a good time, no pressure, whatever. Pero también soy muy, like, me gusta experimentar mucho. Y aunque la música siempre va a ser mi fuerte y quiero seguir aprendiendo sobre todos los medios de arte que pueda conseguir, como que puedo hacer un poquito de fotografía también, como que me gusta mucho documentar, que es algo que yo siento que mi música como tal, yo lo más que estoy haciendo es documentando, como que I'm not a traditional musician, por decirlo así. Pero I like to think of myself as like the whole band, and over time I'm documenting how I'm growing in my musicianship, in my ideas and whatever. Y I like to stretch out of that box, como que parte del contenido que puedo decir así que he hecho por mi cuenta así ha sido mucho en la fotografía. Y yeah, it's all just kind of like a concept that I'm over time putting together, and hopefully when I'm like 70 something it will finally look like a semi-complete concept thing.
Gotcha.
That's the fashion, I guess.
Okay, awesome. Te pregunto también, los cover arts, por lo menos de LP y de Night Moons, did you do them yourself? ¿O cómo fue la cuestión ahí?
El de Night Moons, sí. Pero eso fue, I just wanted to actually put something official out there, como tal que fue en Bandcamp y creo que Spotify después. And that was definitely ese artwork como tal y el de los singles, excepto Beach, lo hice yo. Lo que terminó siendo la carátula de ese álbum como tal, lo hizo una amiga mía de New York que se llama Lina Reyes. Shout out to somebody that I met randomly in New York, which connected really well, and they really dig my whole vibe and whatever, and me hicieron ese solid. Que creo que fue un capturing un live show también allá en New York, uno de los poquitos que hice.
Super cool.
And in the future, to work with more people, and but because there's only so much I can do by myself.
Sí.
Okay, I'm not a professional. Not that it's necessary, but
yeah. You gotta know your limits cuando you feel either creatively or technically ya como que brain dead, basically.
Exacto, I don't like to overexert myself, como que yo creo que parte del approach yo siempre como que he cargado over art and stuff, es que como que when I start to feel drained, como que when I start to actually feel angry or irritated at what I'm doing, I like to take a step back and just like enjoy life for a little bit, regain some energy, then come back to it, get that first take after, recovering and whatever. Usually what works out best. Stressing over stuff come up and I find eventually just makes me feel kind of constipated, and I just want to get rid of it, and then it just goes out, and it is what it is. That's, to me, art will always be whatever it is, and it doesn't have to be a specific way for it to have value or whatever. But definitely it feels a lot better to be happy with a project than sick, you know?
Yeah. Obligado, entiendo full. A veces simplemente necesitas hasta el break simplemente por buscar ideas nuevas to incorporate into the project. So, entiendo full, man. So, this being said, repasando el proyecto, pues veo que tiene influences from indie to folk to punk to garage. So, what have been some of the bands that have influenced your sound? O que tú llevas escuchando desde hace tiempo y que inconscientemente have somehow inspired the work?
Yo sé que it seems kind of random, but like I know that Backstreet Boys is definitely something that I hope one day become more apparent. Como que, porque de mi memoria más early enjoying music era mucho como que escuchando like that early 2000s pop music with my mom in the car. Y me gustaba aprenderme la lírica as best as I could, you know, me la inventaba y eso parecía tradición también. Y también, más que over time, you know, I would forget what artists I was singing and listening to, y de momento me aparecían whatever play, y como que era unlocked this memory. Y yo siento que mi música por lo general siempre va a ser algo medio poppy. Occasionally, I may get a little experimental because over time I did, you know, develop el gusto que tengo, whatever. Otras cosas como The Velvet Underground, que de seguro también, I don't really think too much about my influences, you know, como que I just make sure that que siempre puedo recibir influencia y aprender y crecer y toda la cosa. Debo tener muchísimos classics, como que bandas como The Velvet Underground. Para mí, personalmente, un real es una banda clásica de aquí de Puerto Rico, que yo sé que el momento que yo escuché un release de un real que se llama Año 6, yo escuché eso y yo creo que al mes ya yo tenía mi primer como que recording ahí, como que fuera, y estaba súper pompeado porque por primera vez no me sentí tan solo en Puerto Rico haciendo música, que pues quizás no era tan, because even though it is pop in terms of like tiene un verso, tiene un coro, se repiten cosas, it's catchy or whatever, I could say que tenía como que noise, las guitarras como que eran medio messy, cosas así. Por lo general, I don't think that the general audience is like ready for that. Como que, which is totally fine. Como que that's just one kind of music in the world. People have to fucking like it or whatever. Pero muchas bandas de estas que son como que el recording no fue like, no necesariamente que no pudo hacer en un estudio, pero que se las tuvieron que inventar porque no tenía X o Y conexión o el privilegio de tener como una situación cómoda para grabar. So they had to improvise a lot because they just had to make the music, you know. That's definitely something that I see in myself as well. Como que desde antes de que yo aprendiera a usar un programa en la computadora para grabar, yo estaba grabando cosas en mi celular o como que. And eventually I gained the confidence to actually like put value into the ideas that I was having. Y poco después de eso pues empecé a usar DAWs y Ableton, Mixcraft, Logic, Fruity Loops and whatever. Trial and error. And I still can't say that I know how to use it, but I definitely know what I need the program to do for me now. Not in the best way, but occasionally, not in the best way, da un opening a como que esos detalles especiales que no se pueden repetir. Me hace pensar mucho en esta escena de una película que se llama Almost Famous. Están hablando de un recording de Marvin Gaye, que hay un woo que no se supone que vaya ahí. Y el tipo dice como, that's the music, man, o qué sé yo, whatever. It's not my favorite movie, but like that moment, like, yeah, I feel that.
No sé, o sea, me encantó lo que dices, pues algo que simplemente te sale y even though sometimes it can sound lo-fi and you have to do it yourself, algo que simplemente como que te coge por la vena, si lo podemos poner así. And you just have to put it out there. De hecho, también eso que mencionas de la película, a veces son las imperfecciones lo que hacen la música give it that extra spark that makes it even more uh, más conectada a la gente. Cosas que uno ni se da
Exacto.
cuenta que estaban en la canción. So, te pregunto, para el primer proyecto, ¿lo sacaste durante la cuarentena? Si me dejó llevar por Bandcamp, lo grabaste entre el 18 y 2020, lo sacaste en junio del 2020. Asumo que fue que durante la pandemia decidiste, aquí le voy a meter fuerte a esto y eventually lo sacaré durante, ¿o cómo fue eso?
El recording de You como tal empezó, yo diría que antes de la pandemia. Como que something that I'm very proud of es que, o sea, terminó saliendo en la pandemia porque we weren't done y no sabíamos cuándo iba a pasar la situación de la pandemia, so era como que tenemos que documentar dónde estaba Sin Tribu en ese momento antes de que siga pasando el tiempo y no podamos hacerlo. And, personally, I'm not really like super clear in el date que dice en Bandcamp and shit, because that was quite a while ago. To me, it was just like, it was happening now and I was doing it. Pero sé que fue al principio, okay. Es que yo sé que los recording sessions pasaron todos como que en una semana y como que de cantazo, que I met this guy, que se llama Santiago, el bajista de Unreal, también el frontman o lead artist por half of it de Sueño con Beluga, también era con una persona que se llama Caraya, incredibly talented people, incredibly beautiful sound. And at this point, aunque no tenía muchos releases ni en SoundCloud ni en Bandcamp, ya estaba tocando en lugares como el local y en donde sea que me invitaran. Y por casualidad, uno de los shows que yo estaba tocando, toqué una canción de Unreal, con permiso de Unreal y toda la cosa. No los conozco en ese momento y he just happened to be in the audience. Y escuchó y se puso a hablarme, qué sé yo, y he mentioned que like he recognized the songs y como que él para mí él es uno de los padres de shoegaze en Puerto Rico, como que dude has been around and it's helped out a lot of people que están en otros lugares ahora, yo no sé, pero he's been doing it from the 90s, man. Como que for me that was a big fucking deal, conocer a alguien from the 90s, too, que como que regardless of my influence, I feel like the whole grunge thing and blah, blah, blah is always going to be present in it. To meet somebody that was alive and doing it in that moment blew me away. But he really wanted to help me put together an album. Y hacer un release. He did. It took a while because I was being a fucking diva. But eventually it happened. So I guess I tend to, at that moment in particular, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself because I didn't really know what I was supposed to do. I just knew that I didn't want to mess it up. Y grabamos una cosa y yo decía, no, I don't know, teníamos que grabarlo otra vez. Pero eventualmente, something that I always knew that I wanted to do era grabar con cassette, con tape and shit. And he found the machine to do it with. Y ahí fue que como que hicimos todo el esqueleto del disco entero y ya estas serían las semanas donde se dice que grabó. And by the end we had a bit of post-production on like Ableton and over here and over there. Eventualmente tenía todos los master tracks y le hice el mixing that I could do in that moment. Because I feel like at the end of the day, I wanted to have as much control over it as I could, because if something went wrong, I wanted to make sure that it was me that was doing it, and I wanted to learn from it more than anything, which also helped in the letting go process. Que como que this is a lesson. It is also a debut, and that's usually how it goes. Como que, and I'm just very fortunate that at the end of the day, I'm very proud of what I did, of what we did, and now I'm at the point where I can actually listen to it and enjoy it without cringing at the sound of my voice or like but Hector was there every step of the way. Como que it's a good man.
Awesome.
Yeah. I feel like we got super like sidetracked. I'm like, I don't even remember what the original question was, but hopefully somewhere in there.
You did, don't worry. You did. So, poniendo el proyecto on the side también, noté que aside from the lo-fi, folk, garage, punk, lo-fi influences, también noté que en la canción específicamente Beach, el drum pattern era similar como que al classic boom bap hip hop pattern. Was that also como que on purpose o fue simplemente ustedes llameando y surgió eso ahí?
Una mezcla de los dos, yo diría. Porque something that I wanted to mention también es que aunque la mayoría de las canciones ya yo tenía como que un demo version, por decir así, con drums y whatever, de una computadora. Y me acuerdo que para Beach I was looking for something hip hop for some reason. En ese momento that's literally what I wrote, like just like hip hop beats on the internet. Y I recognized what I was listening to, what I now know is boom bap. Or maybe there's definitely some variations to the boom bap there.
Mm-hmm.
But for the record, that is definitely the kind of beat that I love to hear in like hip hop, especially classic hip hop, obviously. Es como que tiene un sampling vibe that I also like, pero eso es el que estaba tocando batería en este momento es Emanuel Figueroa, que tiene un proyecto que se llama Contigo también. So good. Y ajá, yo como que le di el beat original que tenía y I really wanted an actual drummer to play it. Y él se la tiró, man. I'm a fucking god. I fucking love that. Like, the way that he just like, o sea, no sé, man, es que él tiene una calma cuando está tocando, and I know that it's because he's like calculating every specific movement and he's got so much control over it, like, but he was jamming over it and that's the beat that we ended up with. Y lo grabamos en apartamento, en un cuarto que no tenía casi nada de noise canceling, que lo único que tenía para el noise canceling como tal era un not the bunk bed como tal, but like the whole setup of a bunk bed is just there, la madera y qué sé yo, y parece que como que el sonido se metía en el hueco que tenían entre medio de los bunk beds y ended up with that. And at the end of the day, so even though it wasn't a live drum recording, it sounds like it was sampled. Mm-hmm. I haven't really thought about that. But that's the kind of thing that happens. Just like that. That's the boom.
Esos pequeños detalles. Que a veces uno ni se lo espera, ¿no?
Sí.
Dicho esto, mano, ¿cómo es tu proceso creativo por lo regular? Like, obligado para cada canción es diferente, pero do you first come up with the music and then the lyrics? ¿O cómo es la cuestión?
Yo creo que more often than not I come up with the music. Hay muchas veces que simplemente he llegado a mi casa al final de un día o tengo mucha energía like built up y o sea, a nivel de que I feel like I want to say even like at my like saddest or angriest, como que that's when I sit down and then I just start with something basic, puede ser un beat super básico de un drum, an Ableton or whatever, and then I'll just like improvise the bass over it, and now just go crazy with the guitar after, and then maybe tune that a little bit, just a little here, whatever, blah blah blah. Mostly improvised. Like Beach, como que I think one of the songs that I'm most proud of. I mean, I'm proud of all of them. They're all my kids. But Beach was like, I think it's like the most that I've ever worked in a song. So I came up with the main song en Ponce, solo en mi cuarto, como a las 4 de la mañana. Y entonces tenía como que huequitos que quedaban por ahí, and I just used my knowledge at that time para llenarlo. And I ended up with something really beautiful, I think. And then I showed that to him, I showed it to Hector, we jammed it together, we played it live in a bunch of different places, and then we tried to record what we had together as a band. So las canciones Beach, Who Are You y to a certain point though, son como que songs that were recorded thinking like a band and not so much a solo project, which was part of the experiment. También como que Sin Tribu was kind of like a vehicle for these ideas to happen. Yeah, so it's all very improvised. I don't really know where the song is gonna come from. I just want to be ready when it comes. And occasionally ready means como que, and I think for a lot of musicians, ready means being able to catch the idea and use your knowledge to document it and all that. Que algo que me he dado cuenta que muchos músicos tienen different approaches, pero eso está somewhere in there. Como que I just want to be ready for the idea so I can put it wherever to the best of my abilities. But still, it's mostly improvised. I don't have a specific system. I just get better at doing what I can. Como que one day quizás me hizo mi guitarra, mi batería y sea todo completamente sintetizadora y cosas así. And I would love to be able to do that. That shit costs money though. I have no synth at the moment. No tengo ni un MIDI controller. Ahora mismo todo es como que, like, and it's so, I don't know. It's all a learning experience, really. Como que I was about to complain, but at the same time, I've learned to love it at this point. Como que that's what I have. Como que if I hate it, I'm not going to do anything with it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe save it as a draft for a future song or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Something I've been doing desde que empezó la cuarentena, actually. Como que since I'm at home all the fucking time now. I'll just wake up, sit in front of my computer, escuchar las ideas que he hecho, como que see if I feel anything. Try not to spend more than like 10 to 15 minutes on one unless I do have something. If at the end of that, I kind of feel like recording anything, aunque sea un ejercicio, just do it. And then just like, live my life, man. Mm-hmm. And if inspiration comes out of there, I may come back to do it. Hay otras veces que, maybe just 2 times, que logré grabar una canción entera en one sitting. Que viene con como que sus flaws, por decir así, porque son muchos one takes, pero occasionally the first take is like the most, the rawest, the most emotionally raw performance that you can give without premeditation. Mm-hmm. And aunque eso obviamente no se compara con algo que sí está premeditated, está bien hecho, está bien well mixed, well produced and all that, you can't replicate it. Como que that initial take. So if you choose to go further, you have another song. They can have everything in common, but the energy is just totally different. Mm-hmm. So I do that a lot. Como que el beach que aparece en SoundCloud fue one sitting. También como que the only thing that I did after fue como que un sort of mastering or mixing, because I didn't even know what mastering was when I originally did that. So, important. I didn't know shit about recording music when I was already doing it. So yeah, I had to do it, man. Like, I didn't do it, it just wasn't gonna happen. And now, because I did that shit, I know a little better now. But even then, with everything I know now, I can't do what I did back then. That was a younger me, an angstier me, a more emo kid, Warren, whatever. Como que quizás todavía estaba actively listening to Blink-182 when I recorded some of those ideas. No shame. No shame.
No, yeah, I mean, como dijiste, it's a learning curve, it's a learning process. Y cada día, especially with something like recording, que está cutting up here, cutting up there, cada rato estás aprendiendo. Aunque sea con el nivel de la tunes y whatever, so, don't be too hard on yourself. That will be my advice to any artist, ¿verdad? Sea musician or what have you. Mencionaste que you're also doing photography a little bit, documentando your own work. So, ¿cómo te va con eso? Y what other art form te interesaría explorar in the future?
Ironically, for photography, I've only taken one semester of photography, and it was a really bad class. Como que, I mean, the professor, I guess you could argue, was a talented photographer, but he's a fucking pervert, dude. But he did make us get a camera, and he explained very basic definitions that I needed to know. Y desde entonces como que empecé a experimentar con lo que long exposure with a very shitty digital camera, dude. Como que I forget the term. At the end of the day, I'm still an amateur photographer. I just have an eye, you know. I have a things that I like to see, and that's what I chase. It's like uno de mis compases, como que what is it that I like? How can I get close to that? But with this digital camera, fue que empecé a experimentar. Mano, fue como si me hubiese comprado un lápiz en cualquier lugar, and I just started like drawing in walls or whatever because I didn't even have the paper. Y con long exposure, I started to explore what movement looks like in camera and shit like that. How I can maybe capture an emotion to a camera. It's all still very foreign to me, but it's very exciting because I feel like every time that I go out and just take random pictures, I'm learning. Every second that I take my camera out and use it, I feel like I'm leveling up, so to speak. And which also applies to everything. But I feel like the basic knowledge of like learning how to use a camera to document things that you are a part of, como que things that, you know, moments that will be lost in time. That's another thing that I find really beautiful about photography, that moment that you capture will never happen again. Como que that idea of capturing something that just isn't going to happen again, no matter how small or worthless it may seem. It's fucking awesome, dude. Como que, but I can't afford a fucking good ass camera, dude. Como que I could never compare myself to a photographer that has actually invested that level of like time and money and like como que classes, como que that's definitely not in my path at the moment. But I'm not gonna stop experimenting with that medium. También parte de mi infancia fue pasar mucho tiempo viendo music videos en MTV, en HTV, music, VH1, all that shit, like hours and hours and hours, which also, you know, exposed me to a lot of different music and whatever. Yo creo que parte del interés que yo siempre he tenido en la fotografía o cinematografía es eso, como que music videos. Like, I'm still waiting for the opportunity to have enough pieces to put an idea together that I actually want to like follow through on, como usando guiones y toda la cosa. Like, although this class I say was shitty because of this professor, it did introduce me to a lot of concepts that I didn't realize how much they could help. Como que lo que un guión tecnológico creo que le decía o algo así, deben haber otros nombres. Pero, you know what I'm talking about, que es como que toma de tal cosa y es como que este ángulo con con esta medida, el S in this one place, you know, like all these little things, which definitely help put ideas together for pre-production anyway. Because like, tú puedes tomar esa nota y cuando al momento del shooting, it's gonna go somewhere else. It almost always does. Like, I feel like the experience that I've had working in as part of other productions and shit always comes out to what everything I'm gonna do at the end. I feel like subconsciously I'm just waiting for the moment where I'm ready enough to catch all the things that go wrong or whatever in a big time production like that. And then actually, you know, do whatever. Okay. Kind of getting a little like lost in the thought here because the whole photography thing, and look at what you see on Instagram that isn't collaborative with other people. And that's what I can do, I guess, but I don't know, man. I feel like social media is a very small sample of what a person can really do in the world. Come on, man. I feel like our reliance with it fucking sucks right now, man. Like, I wish I could just not give a shit about what's on my social media and whatever. But yeah, that's like another topic that we can get into later on. So, okay.
No, yeah, it's like, the double-edged sword effect on social media.
What?
It's the double-edged sword effect on social media.
Exacto, sí. Connects you with a lot of people more than you could do, you know, just going out every day. But you have to manipulate people's perception of you, and I hate it. Like, that's dishonest to me. And then when you do practice honesty on social media, like, people aren't very receptive to it. Man, it's just fucked up, dude. I feel like now, well, maybe not now, maybe always, you know, in any art industry, there's a lot of dishonesty to be able to move forward. And that just hurts me to my core, dude. Like, listen, like, I really could go on a tangent about it, but I'm afraid that I don't really have any solutions for people. So I don't like to, you know, get on a high horse and feel like, this is what you gotta do. Because I don't know, dude. And I'm not one to tell a person what they have to do or what they should or shouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Their own path and whatever.
Obligado. Mencionaste cinematography. ¿Te gustaría más be behind the scenes, like writing, directing, holding the camera, o también te gustaría actuar y eso?
Definitely. Personally, I would want to be able to have a really good understanding of all of it, but I do recognize that for a film, no matter how short or small the project is, como que there needs to be a sincronización, organización, comunicación con everybody. Como que every role is that, even though I would even wager that the person that just brings water to the set is more important than everybody else on that set. Como que paraphrasing El Art of War, the Sun Tzu, because the most important soldier is the one that brings the water. It's como que, yeah, no water, no army.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I feel like I may be able to aportar más como que just like in front of the camera, because I feel like even when I'm not trying, I have this presence that I'm not aware of. But long term, behind the scenes stuff, dude, because like I think that in my heart, what I want to do the most is help other people. And if acting turns out to be what I can do to help people the most, because I'm useless everywhere else, and so be it. But like even amidst the crew, como que I feel like there has to be some mediation, and that's something that I can do. Como que, like a director may be having trouble communicating with a specific department. In my experience, either directing or working with this department would definitely help, you know, get those two together a little bit smoother.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of the things that go wrong with movies occasionally is stuff that happens behind the scenes. Like, yes, I was just watching Watchmen for the first time, and I mean, it looks pretty good, but from what I hear, the behind the scenes was like mess.
¿Qué película?
I mean, it looks Waterworld, Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
I mean, the concept, desde que la película empezó, yo como que this looks like Mad Max. And then looking into it, me di cuenta que como que it was initially pitched as Mad Max in water,
mm-hmm.
which sounds more like Universal Studios, right? Which I think is all I knew about Waterworld before I even saw the movie itself. Como que being a kid in Universal Studios, I don't know how long ago, que había como que uno de esos shows que te hablan de las películas y qué sé yo, de cómo se hacen las cosas, y creo que era Waterworld. I had no idea what it was, but you know, the practicality of the effects, de como que bullets hitting the water and it going up, and you know, you having to react to that. Como que I've always loved that shit, and that's just basic filmmaking, I think. Como que being in the set and seeing how people put these things together to convince you that it's a real gun, and I don't know, I fucking love that shit. Pero debería de como que tener un counter de cuántas veces I fucking love that shit, but you know, it's because it's genuine. I really do love these things. But I don't know, Waterworld looks like it was a colossal disaster when it was being made, but it was all behind the scenes. Like, it wasn't that the idea couldn't work or anything. It's just that people wanted to work in a certain way that was neglecting other parts of the production. And then in the end, you know, no more post-apocalyptic movies for I don't know how long. Maybe, bueno, obviamente antes de Fury Road pasaron un par de cosas buenas, pero yeah, nothing as good as Mad Max 2 until Fury Road. It's all George Miller, same dude. I'm like, he knows what he's talking about. He knows why it worked back then, why it didn't work until, I guess, Fury Road.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
He brought it into the mainstream back then, and he brought it back into the mainstream once again.
Exacto, mano. Después de ese Happy Feet, you know, like, real fucking king, that guy. Como que that's a good artist, George Miller. Happy Feet Uno, and he directs the sequel as well, if I'm not mistaken. Like, como que, and then he goes into Fury Road, and man, who knows what he's gonna do now.
He even did
I hope
Babe.
there's one.
Imagínate.
¿Qué?
He even did Babe, la del lechoncito.
Word. God bless that man, dude. A veces yo me pregunto como que if the reason that these artists are good is because they still have that purity in their soul about who they are, and I don't know, whatever you want to call it, is love, passion, and it just gives way to consistency in his entire career. But you look at the people behind Waterworld and other Hollywood movies, and they fucking suck. And it's just the people behind them are just looking for money or moving up on the ladder.
Uh-huh. Muchas veces eso. Execs poniendo la cuchara donde no deben. Ya que seguimos hablando de behind the scenes type of things, what are you working on behind the scenes for 2021? ¿Qué más se puede esperar de parte de Warren Santiago de Sin Tribu?
I don't know, man. I would like to know. Could be. I mean, I am working on a few things, but they're not exactly art related, por decir así. But I think that at the end of the day, it is to be able to continue doing art in a way that satisfies me and provides gratification, maybe. Like, ahora mismo en estos 2 meses, hace poco hice un shoot con un artista que se llama Angélica Coreano. They're like one of the most talented people that I've ever met. Como que they're also like multifacéticos, creo que se dice cuando como que, and like Angélica actually knows how to do photography shit and whatever. I don't, por decir así. I did some modeling for her recently, and it was like some beautiful stuff that I see myself in the pictures, and I can't believe it's me. But it was because they had this vision that, I guess was compatible with what I look like and what I do and all that. And you uploaded it recently. Hace poco, it's like they're starting to branch out because Angélica, maybe you've seen Angélica Doriano's painting. In my opinion, I think that's what she does or has been doing the most. And I don't know. I conocí su arte antes de conocerla a ella en persona, which is one of my favorite ways to like actually like meet people. And then she started branching into music as well, bajo el nombre de Trabajando. There's some really beautiful ideas también. And it's this whole visual concept thing that she's just like seemingly pulling out of thin air that just they got that Virgo like analytical like ability shit, no sé. But I'm modeling for her recently. As Sin Tribu. I'm definitely gonna collaborate with other people. But I guess I can't say names yet or anything because nothing has been set in stone. Pero todo es algo que está apareciendo spontaneously antes de this potential trip that I may be doing. Like I may be leaving the country for a little bit while I make some money to be able to come back here and continue making art. And I'm hoping to be able to continue making art while I'm traveling. Like I'm gonna be working. I'm not really like taking in the sights and whatever, but I am gonna be going to places that I've never been to before. So it's without a doubt gonna have an impact and an influence in whatever I do after that. But I don't know, man. I intend to genuinely be doing whatever it is that I want to do in the art field world until I die. Como que something that I really admire about some artists como R.C.B. Moore, Gary Wilson, and they've always been releasing music for decades. They've documented themselves in a way where you can see the growth, and they just have this passion about them como que alguien también es David Bowie, que como que they have like over 40 albums. You know what I'm saying? Como que there's stuff there that the most diehard David Bowie fans probably haven't really listened to or connected with yet. Como que they're really exploring and they're sharing it by, you know, making an album, releasing it. I feel like that's kind of what you do at the end of the day. And that's definitely where I want to see myself. No, obvio no estoy diciendo que vaya a ser un David Bowie o algo así, pero yo creo que desde pequeño yo siempre soñaba con ser un artista de diferentes maneras, como que en un momento era simplemente tocar guitarra. Antes de tocar la guitarra, ahora que toco guitarra, prefiero como que usar otros instrumentos, pero siempre que tengo la guitarra, pues I know how to use it, bla, bla, bla. La fotografía fue algo que como que se me presentó porque tenía que coger una clase, y aunque obvio la fotografía era algo que conecta con el deseo de querer producir, what do you call them, trabajos cinematográficos, algo así, como que, you know. It was something that I recognized that was going to be important. So, you know, I take it in, I want to keep learning about it, and I know I will. Como que I'm always meeting different artists that are always happy to teach me, and man, teaching is such a valuable thing that I think a lot of people either take for granted or, I don't know, something. Painting as well is something that I've always como que dabbled in. Como que I want to be all like, I can say I'm a good painter. I can say I'm a bad painter either. Como que it's not about that. But it's just something that I feel like that connects me to a part of myself that other mediums can't do. So I just want to keep expanding. Como que I hope that somewhere down the line there is a movie that I'm helping put together. Whatever it is. Bueno, pudiera ser, oh God, I don't know. It could be a Marvel movie that I just happen to have a D in. But that's just gonna teach me so much about what it's like to work with other people, the scale of projects like that. Shit that eventually I'm gonna use in my own art or to help other artists that are growing. And that's another thing that's really important to me. In the long run, I feel like more than anything, I want to be helping other artists, new artists, break into whatever scene they're close to, or just connect them with people that can help them grow if they want to. Stuff like that. I feel like as an artist, I have to return to the art. And aunque I do my own art, and I guess you can call that returning to it, I feel like there are a lot of new artists, especialmente más cercano para mí en Puerto Rico, que no, nadie les puede decir dónde van a empezar o whatever, como que, o nadie les quiere decir, o las oportunidades que están presentes como que no son compatibles con ellas, como que that sort of thing. Algo que yo creo que traté de hacer antes de la pandemia era montar eventos y shows con bandas que nunca habían tocado en el espacio como el local, maybe en Club 77, creo que fue como que lo más como que pude montar así, pero esto fue como que en el eve de la pandemia, literalmente, so como que I wasn't able to give it as much growth as I wanted to. And I'm going to take that one to my grave, man. It made me sad not being able to like help people out as much as I wanted to. Y tener la oportunidad de como que montarle un evento a un artista nuevo que quizás ni había ido al local antes, como yo, en un momento. O sea, yo me mudé a San Juan cuando tenía 19. Y antes de mudarme para acá, yo quizás había tocado como 3 veces en mi vida como Sin Tribu y Cuidado. Porque antes de eso era, pues, qué sé yo, un concierto de guitarras cuando estaba en la libre de música. Que ni tanto, porque I, like, got into, like, this pop band that just played, like, 80s cover ballads. And it was an experience that I will never forget. Pero después de eso, cuando empecé como que a tocar música original mía, whatever, como que it didn't really matter. Entonces, hasta que llegué a San Juan, que conocí unas personas que cambiaron mi vida y me montaron ese show en el local. y como un artista nuevo, and then I kept doing that for myself and for other artists. And darle ese show y después ver cómo ellos van creciendo independientemente, hacer lo suyo, me llena de tanto orgullo, como que, o sea, y no orgullo como individuo, sino como puertorriqueño, como que estos son los artistas que tenemos, como que I wish, I know that there are people like me that are doing the same thing for other artists, and that really motivates me to keep going. Like, I think I just want to grow so that I can help people even more in the long run. Because, no sé, I mean, I do my music, and my music is very emotional and or emotionally driven and all this shit and whatever. And somebody will listen to it and they will feel a certain way. But I just think that el cambio más inmediato that I can actually do is give other people a platform. Como que there's people out there that whose stories have not been told and need to be told. Mm-hmm. My thing, I think, is it's very personal and it's very individual. So yeah, like I don't expect to see myself in a radio station. You know what I mean? Como que, or hell, not even these Spotify like editors playlist shit, because it's all based on things that I'm not exactly focused on, which is a bit of a disadvantage. But I can't lie to myself about who I am, and I'm not going to. But I can give my experience to other people, use my connections to help other people move forward. And I think that's a pretty good como que norte to keep moving forward, Like, yeah, I don't know. Eventually I'll have my own space where I can maybe help them record their own thing a little better. I really don't want to charge people or like have them help me with something so that I can help them, I just want to help. I just want them to be able to rely on this thing that I built eventually, and like they'll come here, they'll do their thing, they'll move on to somewhere higher and whatever, I don't know, some shit like that. I haven't really figured it out, but that's definitely the thought. Y con el poquito que he hecho así en el local y whatever, dando shows a otra gente, like it's definitely a start. And hopefully after this whole pandemic situation is over, I can keep doing that.
Gotcha. En verdad que concuerdo contigo en muchas cosas. O sea, there's a reason porque el podcast existe. O sea, I felt the lack of documentation about the scene desde los tiempos de MySpace. So, ahora que todo el mundo le gusta escuchar el audio y ver el video, why not do it this way? Especialmente aquellos que no tengan quizá el mejor platform o, back in the MySpace days, venía y se iba. A veces la gente bajaba todo, a veces se paraban un mes, empezaban un mes y ya el próximo no existía. So that's what I'm trying to do, trying to document as much as possible de la escena while trying to help in the same process. Porque siendo an independent artist myself, I can see the struggles que todos pasan, en verdad. Another reason why I also do the playlists mensuales. So, that being said, noto que también estás bien, como que you know what's going on, por lo menos desde tu punto de vista, ves cómo puedes ayudar y eso. So, ¿cómo ves a la escena ahora mismo?
Ahora mismo, I think everybody's a little sad. Como que whatever is lit is not, como que veo inside y como que sé que, we're not going to die, we're not going to disappear. Como que we're still coming together, especially now despite our differences, porque we need to, what's the word, like when a group of people keeps getting together, conglomerate or whatever, but I know, it is COVID, so there are certain risks. But I think that after this pandemic thing is over, we're going to really have to help each other out a lot more than we're used to. Porque yo creo que it doesn't matter quién tú eres en la escena, tú tienes que reconocer que nosotros nunca nos hemos ayudado as much as we could. Como que cualquiera de nosotros con un celular pudiera haber documentado el sinnúmero de shows que han pasado. And you know, o sea, son como que detalles chiquititos que la gente como que just didn't want to do porque todo el mundo está viendo su movie, whatever, and that's just the way it is. Pero yeah, I myself have been guilty of that. But yo no supe que aquí había una escena hasta que una banda que se llamaba Indigo bajo una barra que se llamaba Bembele en Ponce. Eso yo creo que fue como en el 2013 o 2014 por ahí. I was already like 18, 19. And dude, we already live in the age of information. Like we should have known que hay barra y whatever así and that will take you in. But then that was another situation. En Ponce también hay barras que te podían dar el espacio and they wouldn't do it. Donde ni tan siquiera los artistas de la escena como tal son varios negocios que no nos quieren dar la mano, por decir así. Como que... Pero la mayoría de esos negocios cerraron antes de la pandemia. Can you imagine why? I mean, los únicos que yo sé que están abiertos en Ponce, que no están abiertos es porque se pasaban tirando tributos sin banderas y tal de Arjona, like who the fuck wants that? I mean, ugh, man, me dan like war flashbacks. Porque en Ponce antes de jugarme yo a la barra y les decía, mira, could I do a show here? Y qué sé yo, sin saber nada. Sin ever giving a show before, but you know, you gotta start somewhere. Y sin falta, siempre me preguntaban que si yo tenía más de 400 likes en mi página en Facebook. Y yo creo que en that moment, si tenía 14 likes era un montón. Because like, dude, I was totally unknown in that moment. And to a certain point, I'm still pretty like low key today. But, you know, that's not how you help the art in your community. Como que you don't ask them how influential are you before you give them a show or not. At least listen to the guy's fucking music before you like send them out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Y acá como que people were a little bit more receptive, pero I felt, and you know, I may be wrong in this, but this is like the experience that I had. Que así solamente habían 3 lugares que yo podía tocar y it was kind of difficult to put something together, being unknown, como que el local fue, o sea, para mí siempre fue el home base, como que el local yo literalmente fui a la barra y le pregunté, mira, ¿qué yo tengo que hacer para montar un show así? Escríbenos en la página de Facebook, and that's what I did. And then to my surprise, como que a par de minutos, sí, mira, tenemos esta fecha y qué sé yo y whatever. Y cada pregunta que yo tenía, me la contestaban, como que sometimes it would take time, but man, they're busy dudes, you know, they gotta do their fucking thing. Y cuando llegaba el momento del show, si tenía dudas sobre el sonido, sobre si necesitaba un micrófono, whatever, they would help me out. Reluctantly or not, they would help me out, and that's what really counts. Y por ello fue que yo aprendí como a setear shows y cosas así. No fue porque alguien que acostumbrado a hacer shows, como que le pregunté, mira, ¿qué tú haces? They wouldn't explain it to you. They wouldn't help you out or whatever. They didn't know. I don't know, for whatever reason. I was not in their head. And that was, así fue que yo me encontré con la escena, como que mucha gente que ya estaba establecida, que estaban como que gatekeeping. And that's me to you know, like what do you call it, this straight looking dude, como que eso es como que sin considerar como que gente que, bueno, y hay una comunidad dominicana súper gigante y yo nunca he visto ningún artista dominicano en local o en Club 77 or whatever, unless they're like really suppressing their identity, you know what I mean, and like acoplándose a these incorrect and like outdated ideas of what an artist is supposed to look like or act like or whatever. Y eso no es solamente la escena de Puerto Rico, no, es en todos lados, que como que hay estos prejuicios about how you're supposed to do things that I think eventually leads to gatekeeping. And again, I've been guilty of some of these things myself, but I want to say subconsciously, que como que, because you move up on the ladder, and then you're a little scared to like go back down by helping out the wrong person, you know what I mean? Or like not helping out somebody that's going to move you up and whatever. And I don't know. I feel like to this day, I still take some of those things too seriously, como que debería pichar más y like just do my own fucking thing or whatever. I don't know. It's this unending ramble that I feel I've had several times. But I think that now I'm at a point where I don't know. I'm pretty good where I am. I do miss performing live and shit like that. But I feel like now I'm more established and more confident as an artist, which is another thing that I felt was really holding me back. I wasn't very confident about who I was, and people see that, and they don't want to help you out. You know, como que ellos quieren que you convince them, having never had to convince somebody before of who you are. Como que like, why should I convince somebody of my value? I know I am. No sé, and there's a lot of other things that I guess play into that. Forget. I don't know. I'm probably gonna piss off a lot of people, but at the same time, I've been pissed off so many times. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think that it may not seem as apparent, but I think that there's definitely a bit of there's a lot of prejudices, man. Como que people think that just because we're not overtly racist and whatever, that we just don't have that problem. Y siempre mucha gente como que, you know, they get on that ladder and they think that, yeah, no, I'm super woke and whatever, pero todavía están como que echándole el ojo para el lado, oye, persona, como que if somebody brings up the subject of racism and somebody feels uncomfortable, they start to attack the person that's actually, you know, like dealing with racism on a day-to-day basis. Como que I think that we pat ourselves in the back way too quickly when it comes to social injustice and protesting and shit. Como que, like, I'm really proud of my island and my people for, you know, marching all the way out hasta el Capitolio para pedir renuncia. But I feel like we were patting ourselves in the back way too soon. And that's something that we do a lot as people. Como que the fight needed to go on even further after that. And I don't know if we let ourselves be suppressed or if we realize that this government is just like, I don't know, there's got to be another way to like get them out of there or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to get too political there también, porque like I said earlier, I don't have the solutions either. I don't know what the right way for us is. I just know que la gran mayoría de Puerto Rico, y in the process of thinking that algunos de nosotros no somos la mayoría de Puerto Rico, hacemos las cosas que la mayoría de Puerto Rico hace. That hurts ourselves. You know, does that make sense? Like, am I making any sense at all?
Yeah.
Like, siento que también en la escena hay muchas situaciones de clase también, porque he conocido muchos artistas que tienen un privilegio súper cabrón, tienen un par de chavos y como que they can pay through fucking everything and they don't want to help other people out. They will disregard other people as like an inferior species almost, just because we have a very different existence or day-to-day things, you know, como que, and then these are the same people that are gatekeeping as well. But I've also seen some of these people como que change over the years and like become, you know, just calm down and like start helping people. Porque es otra cosa también, siento que hay mucho ego trip. Occasionally an ego trip is what moves you forward and like, you know, helps you establish as an artist so that then you can use that position to help other people. But I don't know, I just don't think it should be that way. Como que, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I really could go on forever because there's a lot of things that I see that do bother me, but can't address them all like I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Como que it's a long conversation that I think we do need to have as people. Como que I know that in everything that I said, I'm definitely wrong and misinformed on a lot of things, but I do hope that doesn't take away from the fact that I do want us to talk about it as a community. The scene here and the scene everywhere has its problems. Como que the scene is not, it's a scene, como que it's very abstract. Como que, and I think that occasionally I myself have also made the mistake of like assuming that the scene is a group of people when it's really a movement, it's a lifestyle, it's an area, it's cycles that happen in the same place. And a lot of these things are toxic, a lot of these things are outdated, some of them need to change, some of them need to stay. Algunas nos identifican como puertorriqueños, como que I'm sure Costa Rica tiene su escena también. Yo creo que yo vi algo de la escena de Costa Rica antes de ver algo de la escena de Puerto Rico. Just as a matter of chance, not even research.
Yeah,
Pero lo que son we're not the only ones who are doing it.
no, yeah.
Y ahora mismo todo pasa pandemia, como que like not to like, you know, like el lambeo or whatever, but like people like you that are kind of keeping us alive right now. Como que the way you're documenting us all, like, and not just like 15-minute interviews, man, like you're in there. Hours, like, no sé, o sea, I really do admire that. Yo creo que tú me diste follow hace tiempo, pero antes de eso yo creo que yo le daba follow a tu artist page como tal, where you have these amazing paintings, and you're also modeling yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, man, like, really thank you for the work that you do. Okay, you see things that a lot of people aren't willing to like see and do them as well.
Thanks, man.
Okay, I'm just gonna try that in a couple of seconds. Like, a very shitty like AirPod. Fire an AirPod. One of these $15. But yeah, that happens when I go me and like, you know, so I can like do whatever.
Gotcha.
Like over there. But yeah.
Y te entiendo con lo de la escena, muchas otras personas también me lo han dicho. I guess que también el lack of better communication between everybody. No solamente como los artistas, pero también with the community como tal. Como the community at large. But all this being said, before going into a lighter question, what is your social media so people can find your work?
Yo creo que Sin Tribu es como que el easiest, quickest. Escribes Sin Tribu on SoundCloud, I'm gonna be there, and you're gonna know it's me, you're gonna see my face. En Instagram yo trato de que sea como que donde está la mayoría del contenido, como que sea en el caption or whatever that would take you to another part of social media, would be there. At a certain point voy a tener un YouTube account también, because, you know, it's essential. I mean, where else am I going to put music videos whenever they exist? Pues yo pongo la mayoría de las ideas after happen. Como que muchas veces lo que pongo ahí son como que final versions of demos that may change in the long run, but it's the only way that I can think of documenting where I'm at musically or like sound-wise before it becomes a full release on either Bandcamp or Spotify, preferably Bandcamp, because then, you know, I'm getting the money there if there ever is one, or it's just, you know, it's a direct.
Gotcha.
Very people are como que battery low, like every couple of seconds.
Está un poquito ahí. Pero ya estamos casi terminando. La pregunta light que te quería hacer era, if you were to pick a movie for you to make the soundtrack, dale.
I can't hear you now. That did it.
Te escucho bien.
I think I hear you. Fuck yeah.
Te escucho bien.
Sí, mala mía.
Güey. La pregunta que te quería hacer, the light question, before closing the interview. If you were to pick a movie to make a soundtrack to, what movie would you pick?
A movie that's been done.
Yeah. You have to make an original score for the movie.
Well, I mean, yo siempre pensaba como que I would love to score a movie because the movie would make me like, you know, it would change the music that I would make. I mean, yo creo que definitivamente it would be fun hacer la música de some kind of like big major motion picture thing, because I have to assume that I would have the budget to get whatever I want to make the music.
Mm-hmm.
More than a movie, I would like to make the music for a video game.
Okay.
Like como que...
What franchise?
Actually, Elder Scrolls, no, pero I couldn't take that away from Jeremy Soule. Como que yo creo que if he wasn't making the music, I wouldn't be playing them as much as I do. But man, if it was something new, something about, I don't know, space or like shit. If there's ever a Grand Theft Auto 6, which there probably would be, la música original del juego, o sea, no lo que sale en la radio, is so good. But you know what? I think Red Dead Redemption would be a better franchise, more akin to the kind of music that I like to listen to and do. Pues como que más acústico, como que more ambient. It would definitely require more wilderness and whatnot. Okay, it would actually be a lot of really fun. And I think that if I did it for a movie, preferiría que fuera algo independiente, mano, algo como que local, si es posible. And I think iba a decir algo como que fuera like city-based or something like that, because, you know, the whole concrete jungle kind of thing definitely gives a vibe to the music that would happen. Pero si tuviese que hacerle score, I don't know, just vegetation moving with the wind and stuff like that. Yeah, it would just be so beautiful, man. Como que poder hacer cosas ambient de however long necessary for a take, you know? And it would be fun for me to explore and experiment. Pero yeah.
Sería completamente diferente, for sure.
Sí, sí. Y, mano, como que a mí me encantaría trabajar mucho con los cineastas de Puerto Rico, because I feel like nos falta mucho por contar por cine, como que I met this guy whose guts I just fucking hate a long time ago, but he said something that I can never disagree with. Y es como que we film, and I mean, me lo dijeron en la clase también, pero él me lo dijo primero. Film educates people. It teaches people to think in different perspectives and stuff like that. Como que it can put you in a perspective that you hate to be on, but it makes you think.
It challenges you.
And we used to have como una industria de cine educacional not too long ago, historically speaking, pero y era específicamente para el campo, si no me equivoco. O sea, era como que iban con todo el equipo para montar un premiere for a community that wouldn't have access to a theater before. Como que that shit is still relevant, man. Como que big parts of the island are disconnected from the rest of us. And yeah, I would love to be a part of that movement.
That is super cool. I mean, I think that's the main reason why, además de budgets, que documentales son como que sobresalen más de fiction, narrative movies.
Yo creo que se puede...
Lo más que son cortometrajes, music videos y documentales.
Exacto, sí.
Y of course the news y lo que pongan en televisión.
Claro, sí, but I wouldn't trust the news either, man. Como que, I mean, no estoy como que tirándome el conspiracy ahí o qué sé yo, but, you know, they are meant to make you think a certain way, and that way isn't always, you know, genuine and wholehearted. Pero quería decir que como que algo que I wish people would like, I know that there are, como que, because I've seen it. There's, I mean, un ejemplo de low budget, which is what I was going at, is Reggaeton Zombie, creo que se llama. Say what you will about that movie, but that dude had an idea and he had $0 and he fucking did it. And I mean, I don't know if he had $0, but it kind of looks like it. But you know, like we're artists, we're supposed to think outside of the box always, and I don't think we need that much money to do something good that people can have love and affection for, and also, you know, teach the community. Because even if the movie itself isn't, you know, the greatest movie, I know that great directors are born out of just watching a movie and being all like, this is a piece of shit, I can do better. And then they go ahead and they do better with the same tools. Man, es que, I don't know, I feel like it's just, people can't do it alone, man. And a lot of people want to do it alone. A lot of people are doing it alone because they have no other choice and are taking forever to do it. Como que, you know, casi todas problemas que enfrentan los artistas vanguardistas, por decirlo así, es eso, que o están solos o la gente no sabe cómo ayudarlo o ellos no saben cómo ayudarse a sí mismos, ¿no? Just like I feel like I'm like that sometimes. People want to help me, but I don't know what help I need.
Mm-hmm.
Or people are helping me and the way that they're helping me isn't compatible with me or whatever. And that's the one that sucks, man, because then, you know, people get hurt. Como que when they're just trying to help you because they love you, but whatever they're trying to do, it's just actually not helping you. Occasionally it's doing the opposite.
Yeah.
But, you know, you live and you learn,
Exacto.
as they say.
It's a learning experience. It's a learning process. Como estamos diciendo desde el principio. Dude, again, social media, so that people know where to find your work.
Sin Tribu en Instagram. Si me consiguen en Facebook por mi nombre, pueden añadirme también. I don't have a problem with that. That's just all I do is just shit post, but también it's still a place for me to like, and by shit post, I mean, like, I'm just talking about me, dude. I'm not even posting memes. Like, I'm just talking shit all day. But you can reach me through there. En SoundCloud también, bajo Sin Tribu. Creo que Bandcamp también es como que Bandcamp, blah, 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 Sin Tribu. Yeah, like people will find me. I'm not too difficult to find. I don't think there's anything other than that. But anybody wants to hit me up through any one of these pieces of social media, I will respond. Como que I mean, yeah, I always do. Como que even if I take a while, I like to get back to people. I like to connect with people, meet new people, help them out, experiment, collaborate, whatever. Como que unless you're a fucking asshole, I'm probably gonna agree to do whatever. But if I don't do it, then it's because I think you're a fucking asshole. But no. Maybe.
I mean, esto se sería súper fácil. So, esto lo seteamos de un día para otro, basically. So.
Sí, no, super, man. Super cabrón. Thank you so much for inviting me again. Como que it's like, dude, like, it's an honor. Flattered, like,
Gracias a ti por decir que sí, mano. Gracias a ti por decir que sí. También,
no problem, dude.
Wishing you all the health, especially en estos tiempos raros.
Y yo a ti, man, and to your family members and all that.
Thanks, dude. Thanks. Y último, para adelante, mano. Can't wait to see what you got next. A ver si,
Thank you, dude.
Si le sigues metiendo photography. A ver si lo metes al cine eventually. I want to see what you got next. I want to see what you got next.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Same to you. I know you're a multi-talented guy as well.
Thank you. Trying.
Now, in all this excitement, I lost track of something super important to me, and that would be my dearest friend and my bandmate, Rosa Ortega Yanelli. Rosa is a viola player, and to this day, they're the only person who accompanies me on the stage as a duo. I feel so honored and so happy to be joined by Rosie on the stage. I feel kind of indestructible, to be honest, like nothing is really gonna go bad because I know Rosie has my back. They've supported me unconditionally and pushed me to keep going forward. Before and after the final days of recording, they accompanied me on the stage, developing a chemistry that you just don't find. You're blessed with it. Now, in all this excitement, again, my ignorant ass forgot to give Rosie the special mention that they motherfucking deserve. But in the shameful situation, I am reminded of what a magical parent we are and how privileged I am to have them in my life. As a friend, a mentor, a bandmate, backup, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Thank you, Rosie.